Unearth Snapshots, allowing you to easily add medium damage minions to any build with very low effort. You can use it to power things like the Dark Defiler, which will do 132 extra chaos damage with 33 minions on board. So if you look at my build real quick, I'm not really a minion build. Sure, I have the hybrid damage nodes here, I have a little bit of minion survivability here, and a little bit of minion survivability here. Everything else that I have to make Unearth work is these green nodes that only light up when I'm using my weapon set 2. So when I weapon swap, you'll see them all light up. Unlike reservation nodes, or reservation minions, Unearth and Raised Zombie are both temporary minions. When you cast, it snapshots whatever modifiers you had when you cast it, and it will not update when you switch weapons. You can test it yourself by seeing the move speed of Unearth and how well they keep up with you, with and without this 20% move speed node. So, you can take a chaos build like the one I'm running, which has no minion ranks and no physical skill ranks. And I can put on my weapon slot 2 plus 5 physical skills here on my wand and plus 5 physical skills on a scepter. I then can run a necklace with plus 3 all spells, which will also affect Unearth since it is both a spell and a minion. Now currently I'm only running rank 28 Unearth, and this is what the stat page looked like. Keep in mind, this does not factor in the extra crit buffs I have, so this is closer to 10,000. If I had rank 33, and at this is the scaling factor, it would do almost double the damage, or closer to 20,000 damage per second, per minion times 26. Now you do need some way of breaking armor, or Unearth runs into issues. It needs to have enough damage to over-penetrate the armor of the thing it's attacking. In general, a pack of my Unearth minions will take down a yellow mob in about 4 seconds, in a tier 15 or 16, with this as the stat sheet. So they're pretty good for cleaning up and giving you the minion power fantasy. In total, this is all of the investment I have in Unearth. I went the hybrid nodes. Look, I even skipped this. And then I put 3 regular skill points here and 3 regular skill points here. Everything else is these green nodes, which are only my weapon swap points. You just get some damage, a little bit of damage. You get 1 to 2 resist nodes. It depends on how many jewels you invest into resistances for your minions. You get some corpse conservation, so it's just a little bit easier to use. And then you have to get move speed. The whole reason I did all this was I was having issues where Unearth minions were getting stuck on like one little bat in the back line, and I was walking away and they would despawn. So I tried to make them do damage. And I realized I can just run straight damage with Heft, Martial Tempo, Brutality, and Feeding Frenzy, and rather than getting stuck on little white mobs in the back line while I'm trying to run a Dark Defiler build, they'll just kill it. They'll kill blue mobs, they'll kill yellow mobs, and then catch up to me. It's great. So let's say I'm fighting a boss, and it just blew up all my minions, including all my Unearth minions, and these minions just respawned. So the timer for cooldown is up. Might be thinking, well, how am I going to get Unearth during this boss? Sacrifice isn't allocated. I've got Blasphemy using up all my spirit, and I've got Grim Feast up. Well, if I want to get Unearth minions back into the fight, when I weapon swap, instead of having 102 spirit here, I can get 180. And if I wasn't a big dummy, this would also be a rattling scepter, so I'd have a total of 11 minions from this scepter. And then once I weapon swap, thanks to checking this box on only number 2, I now have Sacrifice active. And I can just send my minions out and press Unearth. We'll start rezzing each other. Press it again. They'll res each other a bit more. And then you just, give it 1 or 2 more for good measure. And now you've got most of your minions up. This is also a good way to farm Grim Feast in and out of combat. And now we have Unearth on a boss fight. We switch back to our damage stats. So in my case, it's Hexblast. And all of my Unearthed minions still retain their green stuff. It's great. And really fits the power fantasy. It still needs some cooking. This is me killing this boss. And this is not a great fight. You'll see the boss's health move, though, when I'm not casting Hexblast. And that's, 10 Unearthed minions. So I still need a way of armor shredding beyond the vulnerability, because this vulnerability is not enough to break through this boss. But it's getting there. I think somebody like Gazi could do a much better job than what I've done so far. I'm still learning PoE 2. I didn't really play much PoE 1, so... But, yeah. Let's see, what else do I need to cover? Do I have any other slides? Nope, just the end. So, you can find me in the pseudo-official Path of Exile Discord. It's a great place to find game news, and there's a lot of really good discussion channels. If you go down to PoE 2 build help and type in witch tips, first result should be witch tips for dad gamers, effective noob-friendly build ideas. I run this thread, and you can ask questions here, and myself or somebody running one of my builds can answer. There is an FAQ at the top, but it's kind of out of date. My bad. You can also find me streaming on Twitch. And if you like and subscribe on YouTube, you can see when I go live. It's usually in the middle of the night / early morning. And I hope one of you guys tries out snapshoting on Earth and does something silly with it, because it's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed, on a non-minion build, being able to add some hybrid damage in. And I think with a little bit more cooking in the oven, this is going to be an actual decent damage source. Maybe if I add a couple more jewels that have a minion critical hit chance, we'll get somewhere. And for bosses in particular, I need to add some bleed, or not bleed, some armor shred that isn't taxed on the Unearth. If we want Unearth to do damage, all of these have to be straight damage. We don't have room for extra duration or quality of life stuff like corpse conservation. Alright, well, if you eventually I might be coming out with this Hexblast build. I basically currently 1-tap blue mobs in tier 16s and 2-tap yellows. It's not great, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.